بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين, الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد نبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome all of you wherever you are, and welcome you to your program Fatwa Life. And this is the first part. The first question is, can I work in a gas station that has cigarettes, lottery, alcohol? And this is the only choice that I have at this point. It will bring me a lot of money and give me more time to do my house duties. What if they didn't have alcohol but they have lottery? And I tell them that I will not sell the lottery to customer, but I will sell the cigarettes. If I worked in there at that, if I donate some money to purify my money. The answer, my son, may Allah inshallah give you what is permissible than what is forbidden, and from his obedience than his disobedience. And to take you to the best things that Allah Azza wa Jalla, like everything have you mentioned, from the alcohol and the lottery and cigarettes, they are all, it's in the part that is forbidden. They are different in level. Definitely cigarettes is less than alcohol, but still it's forbidden. So if you don't do the direct selling, so you don't have nothing about whomever selling, so you can sell the permissible to whomever you wish, whether it is a service or a product. But it is important if you are going to sell it directly, so you should not do that. And you don't go to any of that unless there's emergency or need, that's direct need or something of similar. So you could get rid of only at the time of desperate need. Then you take a percentage of what is sold from the alcohol and the things that are forbidden to donate that to the general area. And you keep looking at the same time to another work that's going to be more purifying to his soul and going to be more satisfying to Allah. And Allah knows the best. Second question. A woman died and she had two daughters. They are 2 years and 3 years. The family want to take the furniture in the apartment. What is the rule about that? The rule is what Allah has ruled. Allah Azza wa Jal made the inheritance of the Quran that is recited. It's in Surah An-Nisa, and the rest in Surah and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And at the end, Allah said these are Allah's boundaries. And Allah said, whomever disobey Allah and His Messenger and pass the boundaries of Allah, Allah will give him hellfire that he is in it eternally. Once a person died, the money is to an inheritance and it is divided. So everything they leave behind after his death is considered inheritance. It is divided into the inheritance according to Allah's rule and percentage, after taking the loans out and fulfilling the will. To keep the female out of the inheritance, this is part of the time of ignorance. Allah said, Allah is giving you advice to your kids. The male has double the reward of double the share of the woman. Al-Hawd bin Kathir says in his explanation to this ayah that the people of ignorance is to make all the inheritance to the males over the, and Allah asked for equality in the origins of inheritance, and He differentiates between them. So He made between the male has double the share of the woman. And Allah said for the men, they have a share from what the parents leaves, and so is the woman. from what the parents and the relatives leaves, from whatever it is, little or a whole bunch. And I'm wondering, from those who wants to put their hand on the orphans' money, kids who are 2 or 3 years old, these are orphans. Their mother, so if they're orphans, then it is more important that we preserve their rights, preserve their duties. Allah said, don't come too close to the money of the orphans except that is good. Definitely the orphan and the humans, it's the one whose parents died and he haven't reached puberty. Second question, what is the rule of those who work? This is something that's commonly known. There's no place that don't have this kind of filth. Every soul is going to be responsible for their actions, what they do. And but if you are selling it, that's a different issue. In the hadith, fear Allah wherever you are. In the Muslim countries, outside the Muslim countries, so these things that are forbidden are very abundant compared to the permissible things. Then maybe have a slight excuse to say that work if you don't uh, and your eyes should always be open. This question about this had an uncle. He didn't have kids. He died a few days ago. When they look at it, they well, they he did not know to be fulfilling the Islamic. I wouldn't know that he changed the religion. We looked to the Islamic center, and he took the advice, but the Imam refused to wash him and to pray on him because because they wanted to burn him. Can you wash and put the clothes on a person, even though he put in his will that he will be burnt? That will is voided. It's not accepted because it's not part of our Sharia, not even in any religion before this. This is humiliating for the honor of the person who died because Allah said, I have honored the son of Adam. You should not burn him, whether he's a Muslim or a kafir, a disbeliever, because Allah has forbidden. The honor of the deceased is to bury him. The first story about the first son of Adam, when he felt like he could kill his brother, so he did. He became among those who were grateful. Then Allah sent him the crow so he could see. And then he said, "Oh, did I fail to be like that crow? and cover the body of my brother. And maybe he wanted to put pressure on the lawyer instead of, but definitely the Muslim should refuse to burn the deceased. And if he refused, so the Imam can. And he will be prayed upon. The Prophet ﷺ, he did not pray on someone who did not leave money for to fulfill his loans. So those who insist on sinning, or they made an open will, just like then you leave him to Allah. Allah does whatever He wants. Allah said, Allah does not forgive that He will be put partners with, and He will forgive anything beyond that to whomever He wish. I have a friend who's Christian, who was close through the internet. We continued friendship for 6 years. I suggested to her to send to her a copy of the explanation of the meaning of the Quran, so she could read it when she likes to read books. So I said maybe she will learn about Islam. She agreed. She don't see anything wrong to read it. But after a while, I heard from people, and I was afraid that my companionship to her is haram, and I don't want to answer any of her questions, any of her texts for a while. I'm hoping that this does not have a bad review about Islam. I hope that what I am doing is not going to be against me in the day of judgment. What is forbidden uh, to be with the non-Muslims so you could call them and soften their heart to Islam is required. And the Sharia made. So there's nothing wrong. How are we going to call people if we don't communicate with them one way or another? How are we going to have the message of Islam to them? This is not from the alliance that is forbidden. What is forbidden goes back to things: the love and support. To love your own wife, if he's a Christian or from people of the book, that's a natural thing. They could, there's the natural love that is. The Allah Azza wa Jal, when He said to the Prophet ﷺ, You're not going to guide whomever you love. Allah is talking about Abu Talib because he's the one that, Allah, the Prophet ﷺ protected him. He's the one who said when they offered to him to. So there's a difference between the natural love than the Sharia, and you can continue for what is the minimum about the connection of the kinship. Well, it depends. There is some close, some far. Is to give the rights of the Muslims to greet him whenever you meet him, to go with his, and you go back to him whenever he is, and to help him if he asks for your help. And today in the public social media, you find some easy ways for kinship. If you had the WhatsApp group and you put in it your kinship and you said salam to them, or to send something, this is from whomever is in hardship, you help him and you ease his hardship, and you charity on the on the relative. It is a connection, and my husband, he is the founder of the masjid. He goes every Friday to collect masjid money, and he give it to, but he don't take a percentage because he don't want the board to look at him. I am not a person who don't eat. I do eat, and we have also certain principal things that we need. Life will not happen except with these items. And I hope that they will united. But to take without their knowledge, no. He is trusted on that money, and these are observers. So it should be very transparency, and should not be any burden that he will take what is enough. Whomever holds himself on a matter of the Muslims, then he can be taken from their money and take for whatever is enough for him. And this is different from the wife. If her husband holds her expenditure, that's a different issue. Here we are looking into an action of institution that does not. Transparency is very essential. Is there any kafara on the person who made another? It is the same of the swearing. If you can, then you make the kafara of yamin. It is not like is the one that is if something happens, I will do that. It's not going to do anything. It is a matter that Allah takes out of the miser people. Then he need to fulfill his their covenant. Allah described it that they are afraid of a very hard day, and they give food to the needy, the hungry, and the prisoner of war. We give you for the sake of Allah. We don't want no reward from any except from Allah. Is there an obligation on the person more than what is, or everything is on the nafila? Of course, there is obligations in Sharia. It will not happen except to fulfill it, and there is extra, and people are different, and that will go to the perfect imam, because there is a faith that is required and one that is complete. The one that is the to do what is obligated and not to kill. And the difference is on the both matters, that you made more nafila and what you go through of hardship. And ask Allah Azza wa for both of us. Because Allah's Messenger said, do not ask Allah to meet the enemy, but to ask Allah the good and the good health. When you do a change, can you ask for a higher rate? Yes. There is no boundary for the. It is left for except the price of equal at the time of hardship. Like if the merchants they kept their prices, then it took advantage of people. Then the authority they could have the right to take enough, because originally Allah is the one who gives these price. He's the one who raise and put down, and no human has that capability. The second question, the children who are born in the prison during the oppression in Syria, the sons of who are the results of a crime, and their mom is forced into it. And Allah said, do not force your woman on prostitution, and whomever forces him on Allah, after that their forcing is most forgiven. Whomever is forced and she knows she can repent, then Allah will give it to him. And they are dealt with just a normal kid. They have nothing to do with that calamity. What is known in all the region, that no one will be no human will take the burden of, and no one will get except what he has provided for himself. We'll come to the conclusion today, inshallah. We'll continue until we meet. May Allah have safe trips. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. من عندك